Well, hello, happy people. How are you all today? This Monday afternoon, I'm a little bit late for the happy hour. I normally do it at lunchtime, but it was my first day back in the office and I've been back to back. And I needed to clarify my thoughts so that I could come in and share this final message for this final happy hour. We're going to be moving on. So today I wanted to share with you the concept of happy transitions. There's a reason for this title. But first of all, I want to share with you my own latest story of transition to really inspire you, to see if this resonates with you, to show you how I've been leading myself through my latest transition so that perhaps you can find some little nuggets of gold that you can help and apply in your life. But also at the end, I have a little exercise for you to do and take away as homework, because I know that there are some of you out there who love the little bits of homework to go away and do in your own time. So if you're here watching me live, do say hello. I love to say hello. If you're watching me on replay, please do hashtag replay and engage with me as if this was running live. So where do I want to start? What I have to share with you today, happy transitions, is really inspired by a conversation I had just a couple of days ago, standing in the sea while I was on holiday, feeling the waves coming back and forth over my legs and having a wonderful conversation with somebody I'd met on holiday. Hi, Jules. Hello. And I was talking to him about my journey of coaching over the last 5 years since I established myself as a coach in 2018, and also more recently the last 3 months as I embarked on this new transition, this new real era of what I'm going to be doing here in my own personal brand as I've moved away from being in a partnership, and what do I actually want to do in the XO Ali Mortimer brand. And I have been giving myself permission in the last 3 months to really play, to really try things on, to experiment, to see what feels good. It's almost like going into a dressing room and trying things on and taking them off and saying, yes, that feels good. Yes, that looks good. That's what I want to do more of. That's where I want to go. And really just giving myself that real permission to play. So for those of you who've been with me for a while, thank you for letting me play around in what I've been doing. And if you were watching me, when was it? It was a few weekends ago and I was away, and I shared my riff on what I was really feeling into about being a Phoenix coach and what a Phoenix coach actually really meant, and how I had been this Phoenix rising, this butterfly who'd metamorphosized originally, but how I've kept on evolving, how I've kept changing, how I've kept transitioning and up leveling and allowing my life to get better and better and better as I've been making these shifts and happy transitions along the way, and allowing them to be happy and allowing them to be really that joyful. And it was in the recognition that it's in the breaking down and the breaking through and the rising up that you can actually keep on changing your life to be better and better and better. And actually sometimes the breakdown, that first piece and the final piece in that puzzle of breaking down, can actually be the hardest. And I do feel while I've been away, perhaps one of those last final pieces that have been shackling me to where I was has slowly dissolved, or I've actually had the courage to let go of that final invisible shackle in order to move on and rise and become and break through and know exactly what I want to be doing next. Perhaps it was the space, perhaps it was the sea, perhaps it was the space and freedom just lying on my sun lounge, or maybe it was this conversation that I just had in the sea last week. But when I was doing this reflection on the back of that conversation, it was a recognition that while I started my coaching business 5 years ago, my initial intention was born, and I suppose it was created out of this yes, identity shifts, exactly, identity shifting. And my first coaching business was really born out of my own personal desire and transition and shift to be happy. And my first business was called Heal Yourself Happy. It was all about health and healing and happiness and joy and relationships and finding love in your relationships, finding love in your body, finding love with your health. And it was really all about that. And I got the qualifications in holistic health coaching and mindfulness and meditation, and I did all of that work, and I helped hundreds of people, thousands of people through lockdown really prioritize happiness and health. And that was a really wonderful experience, and I loved every single moment of it until I found that I wanted to do something else and move on. And it was born out of this desire of people coming to me, other health coaches saying, how are you creating such an incredible business, such a successful business, generating an income, being so seen, helping so many? Can you show us? Can you tell us? Can you teach us what you are doing? And it was at that point, after 3 years of having my own personal business, I went into partnership with the wonderful Emma Louise Forrester, who was my coach at the time, and we launched the Limitless CEO. And for the last 2 years, we started to respond to that desire of how we could help women grow online businesses using their strengths, their passions to monetize a career that was very, very flexible. And we did that for 2 years as part of the Limitless CEO, where I was very focused on the mindset and the energetics and looking at branding and creativity and all of these wonderful things that we were able to help, again, so many women create their businesses online as we emerged out of the pandemic and in lockdown. And I loved every single thing about that until I felt called to move on again. There was a completion feeling, and I was ready to move on and do something else. And this is what I've been doing in the last 3 months, this whole transition, this shifting in my online identity and who I'm here to help and who I'm here to serve. And through the experimenting and the playing, because I am a line 3 and I'm a double martyr, so I'm a 3/6. Everything about my transition, I'm meant to be in transition. I'm meant to be playing. I'm meant to be experiencing, because that's how I find my answers in my, so I'm talking human design here when I talk 3/6. So this is me playing and experimenting and learning what I want to do by either validating that, yes, that's right for me, or actually experiencing the contrast that says, actually, that's not right for me. That's not what I want to do anymore. So this reinvention of myself, I recognize I'm actually really gifted at and very, very good at, having gone through a corporate career to then a freelance in corporate career to running I don't even know what they call it now, affiliate marketing. In my day, it was network marketing. I was good at network marketing. I was very successful in network marketing. And then I started being a health coach, and then I became a mind coach, an energetics coach, a business coach. And I'm all of these things. But for me to move on now and actually recognize what it is I want to do, why I want to do it, and who I am here to serve, it was taking myself through my own process. And I recognize it again. It's this whole burning down to the ground, this phoenix approach of burning everything down, but not to destroy it, but actually to burn it down and actually look in the embers of the destruction and actually find the glowing embers and say, those are my sparks that are always going to be there. And those are the pieces that are going to spark my next transition, and finding them in the ashes and taking those and then using the ashes around it to mold and shape and recreate this new version of myself. Not throwing everything away, but using it all and reusing it and repackaging it and allowing something else to lead as I start moving up. It's this breaking down and releasing of what was holding me before. And the easiest way that I found it is to burn it all down and then remold and reshape and recreate and re-identify and see what comes out of all of that. And it's such a beautiful experience. It has been for me, and it can be so beautiful and so transformational. And I've just pulled a piece out of my journal as I was writing this yesterday after this conversation I had, and I said it's all about repurposing yourself to find your true purpose, your next true purpose. I haven't lost anything of me. I've just repurposed me to find and recreate this next level version of me that's going to take me to where I want to go, what I want to do next. And then it's leading from this place, from this energy, with this energy and with this passion, with this fire from the phoenix of this flames that you've recreated from remolding yourself. So all of that that I've explained in my first 2 brands and businesses that I've been doing in the last 5 years are actually still part of me. I haven't let any of them really go. I'm just not leading from those places and spaces and those energies anymore. I still use all of my knowledge and all of my experiences in healing and happiness and health and relationships and mindset and energetics and human design and the healing pieces and branding and creativity and artiness and all of these soulful spiritual things that I absolutely adore and have recreated and using myself. It's all there. But I'm just choosing to lead and rise with a different point that's right at the tip of where I'm going. And it's all shifting. It's just shifting it all around. All of it belongs. I'm just shifting it and all of it be part of me, but just choosing one of those pieces that's saying, that's the piece that I want to lead. That's the piece I want to turn the dial up on. And that's what's going to drive me and take me forward and lift me. So today, again, as I came back into my office, just to reconnect myself and back into the workplace and in the workspace and in the mindset of working rather than lying on a beach, I was just asking myself again, right, so I've had 3 months now in my own personal brand and really establishing myself as me, as my own personal coach and mentor. I was saying, okay, what are these next 3 months are? Because I launched this in May, so it's May, June, July, August. What is August, September and October going to be all about? Who do I want to help? Who do I want to serve? Why do I want to help them? What am I going to do and how am I going to do it? And really journaling and creating and bring everything out that was in my head that had come through from my sun lounges and my space away and saying, okay, this is my focus. These are the 5 things that I'm going to be focusing on. This is where I'm going to be prioritizing. And this is where I'm going to be moving on. And I wrote it all out in my journal. And then one of the things that I love to do at the beginning of the week when I do this is I love to pull an oracle card. And it's one of my ways of really connecting with my spirit, with my soul, and feeling the messages that are coming through for me. I'd already been listening to my soul and in my heart and putting them out on paper into my journal. But I do, and I have always loved since I was introduced to them, in terms of how can I connect with these and how can this reinforce what I'm doing. Sorry, I've got teenagers shouting in the background, sorry about that. The joys of summer holidays and working from home. And it is a joy. And I pulled from one of my newest oracle card decks. This is called the Divine Feminine, and it was actually shared to me by one of my mentors and coaches, Jacqueline Shaw, and she pulled a card for me once, and I loved the message that it had to me, and I thought I'm really connected to this deck. So I pulled a card out, and my question was, what do I need to know for the next 3 months? What do I need to know from you? What messages do you have? And I love asking these open-ended questions. And I got the card of I don't know how you pronounce this, it could be Sappho or Sappho. She's the goddess, she's the poetess. And it says, I love every inch of my body and I love the women in my life fiercely. And I thought, oh, interesting. That sounds like it's taking me almost back to my original brand, the Heal Yourself Happy brand, which was all about loving yourself and healing and loving the body. And when I read more deeply into what it was saying, the message that I felt that was being called out to me were these words. It says, lift up a woman in your life, help her reach a dream she's been incubating. And everything that I had been writing in my journal was all about that. It had been, how can I help people who want to move up, to transition, to rise to their next level, to live their dream life, to live their richest life, to live the good life, to how can they live and love their life more? How can they keep moving so life gets better and better and better? And that's through dreaming and visualizing and trusting and believing and knowing where you want to go. And so that really helped me, help her reach a dream she has been incubating. And I thought, yes, that is exactly what I want to be doing. And my wonderful Sappho goddess just reinforced everything that I'd written out in my journal. And that is what I want to be doing here in my personal brand, helping you, helping men and women. I know she's a divine feminine, but it's just anybody who wants to reach their next level, to their next level of dreaming. And I love a dream because there's a wonderful quote that I love. Everything has to be created twice, once in your mind and then in reality. So dreams are such an important part of the shift and the recreation of yourself and of your life. And so, as I said at the beginning of this happy hour, this is the final happy hour because I'm going to be using this Monday slot, rather than talking to you about happiness, is going to be talking to you about the shift. I want to be helping you bring your incubated dream to life, to create it, to transition, to up level, to transcend, to actually create what it is that you desire in your reality. And I want to help you, people, anybody, do that with joy. So that is my experience of my latest transition in Technicolor. And I just wanted to share with you a little tip here for those of you who love the real practical things. For those of you who are perhaps a line one, here are some of the details and the practical things that you can actually do to help yourself and serve yourself create your own next level and transition. So what can you do if you want to experience your next shift to your next level, to your next up level, to start to create that dream in your life become a reality? Give me 1 sec, I'm just gonna have a slurp of tea. One of my favorite mugs. Good to be home and having a good old cup of tea back here in the UK. So as a mindfulness coach, having been fully trained and certified in mindfulness, one of the things I always go back to, one of the foundational principles is always awareness. So I would offer up to you, sorry, Rocky's happy to see me. I would really offer up this first step as just getting very aware of where you are in all of the areas of your life. And really do an assessment. Assess yourself in all of those areas and what feels good, what needs some improvement. It's a really old health coaching tip. It's really almost doing that circle of life and marking yourself about where you are and working out where could do with some improvements and where do you want to get to. So have a think about your love life, as my granny would say. How is your romance doing? How is your family life? How is that feeling? Mark yourself out of 10. Does it feel good? Could it do better? Just have a look and see where you want to improve. Where do you need to make some shifts and some changes so that your life can get better on the whole? What about your health? Your physical health? Are you happy in your body? Are you feeling healthy and vibrant and energized? Are you feeling toned? Are you feeling strong? Are you feeling good in this incredible human body that you have been given? And are you looking after it so that you can actually experience the best life possible? Is your body serving you and enabling you to live your life? What about your mental health and your emotional health? I know that so many people right now are really struggling with that burnout and overwhelm and mental overload. Ask yourself, does that need some improvement there? What about your work, your career, your focus, your priority, your business, your purpose in life? Whether that be to be the CEO of your own business, whether it's to be a partner in a big corporate company, whether it is to be the CEO and manager of your home, your family, so it runs smoothly, so that everybody in your life gets to experience what they want to achieve, whether that's good grades at school or whether they have a career that they want to achieve as well. That's your purpose in serving them and letting sure that everything runs smoothly in their life. Are you feeling fulfilled in your career / business or purpose? It's also relevant, whatever it is that you do in your life, whether it's paid or unpaid. What about your social life? How are you feeling? Are you feeling connected? Have you still got some social anxiety left over from lockdown? I know I have done, and I had to readdress that at the beginning of this year. How are you feeling about going out and about in your community? How connected are you? Seeing your friends? Are you hanging out with people who really light you up, or are you hanging out with the people who drain you? Do an assessment of how you are feeling socially and healthily social. What about the self? How are you feeling about yourself and who you are and who you are showing up to be and how people are perceiving you? How good do you feel about you right now? This is probably one of the biggest areas that used to hold me back. Are you being authentic and true to who you are? Do you even know who you are? What you want to stand for? What is your life all about? What will your obituary say? What will your children say about you? What do you want them to say? Who do you want to be? Are there parts of you or dreams that you once had that you're not actually living? Or are you living a life that you never thought that you would dream you would ever be? And how do you feel about that? That's often one of the biggest areas that I love to help people break down and break through and rise through this whole big piece of loving the self and loving what you stand for and who you are and where you want to go. The identity work. What about spirituality and faith? Do you have a deeper sense of connection that goes beyond the physical? I know when I started to embrace the spirituality, the faith, the trust, the surrender, the universal laws of attraction, my whole life became lighter, is the only way I can express it. It just felt that I felt so supported in something that I couldn't see. How much of that are you willing to allow into your life? What about joy, creativity, fulfillment? How much of that do you allow? Play, pleasure. Or there's so many different areas that you can fill in your life, but do an assessment of all of the key things that matter to you. And some of the things that I've set out may not matter to you, and that's okay. Or maybe you feel, I'm good there. I'm good with my health. Or perhaps I'm so killing my work, my purpose. That's not what I'm talking about here. It's about doing an assessment of your whole life and asking, is there anywhere that I want to shift to be better, that would actually make me feel more fulfilled on the whole, to feel better, to feel that I'm living and loving my life to the max? Which areas can you up-level? And I do believe that there are always going to be areas that you can improve on. I'm constantly looking around and saying, where can I improve? What's holding me back? Where do I want to go next? What can I improve? I feel that I'm always on this journey of continual improvement so that life can get better and better and better and better. And I love the change, and I love the movement, and I love the transformation, and I love doing all of that. I think I would get bored if I just stayed where I was. And I love that. I don't believe that we can change our whole worlds in one go. If you're feeling terribly stuck and really not happy with where you are in all of those areas that I've said, just pick one area and start there. Which one will have the biggest biggest bang for its buck and the biggest impact on everything else that you have going on in your life, and pick that one. Don't try and change many places all in one go. Just pick one and prioritize that. Focus on that one at a time. So when you've done that, what do you do next? When you've done your assessment and when you've realized which area or part of your life you really want to focus on improving, then take the Phoenix approach. The Phoenix approach that I would love to share with you is very simple. It's just breaking it down. What do you need to release in order to move? If you can think about moving and up-leveling to your next level of whatever it is that you want to improve on. It could be that you're being held back and held where you are by certain thoughts, certain beliefs, certain people, certain ways of doing things, habits, rituals. There's so much that you can have a look at. So have a look and do a bit of an assessment. What is making you stay where you are, and what can you let go of? And sometimes this is the hardest thing to do. For me, letting go of Heal Yourself Happy, because that's what I was known for. Letting go of happiness has been one of the hardest things to let go of. But just know it's not about completely losing it or completely letting go of all of it. It's just about saying, it's no longer what I'm leading with. I'm going to put it down for a moment so that I can move and then I can pick it back up again. The breakthrough is very simply understanding where it is that you want to go. Where do you want to break through to? Getting very clear on where you want to go. Think of it as a little bit like a sat nav. You won't ever get to where you want to go unless you know where it is that you want to go. So start to see what that might look like. If it's in terms of your career, what does that look like to you? And how would it feel if you achieve it? If it's in health, what does that look like to you? And how would you feel when you achieve it? The two most powerful questions. Ask yourself that. Get a little bit more clear on where it is that you want to go, because that can also help you realize of what you need to let go of in order to get there. And then the rising. The rising part is this becoming of. When you know what it is or who it is or where you want to go, you can start to do an assessment of how you can take those steps and building this plan in order to get there. And then you can start being that version of you, seeing, feeling, behaving, doing all of those things. And as you rise, it becomes down to you. You attract it as you are being it. You become it. And then you start celebrating every little step that you take along the way, and you rise and you keep rising. The energy of gratitude, the energy of love is such a light feeling that you will rise and you will lead yourself in that rising to become that next level. So you can take yourself through your own Phoenix approach and Phoenix transition, this joyful transition and transcendence of really using the human strategies and the soulful spiritual experiences and connection with yourself to help you get there through this approach. And this is something that I'm going to be doing. This is where I'm going to be focusing my work on now going forward. So from now onwards, we're going to, as I said, we're going to be using this session, this Monday live session to talk about the shift. And I'm going to be giving you examples and stories because I'm a natural born storyteller with my line 6, but also these human strategies and my soulful and spiritual experiences so that you can take these and make them with what you will to implement into your own life. So if this is something as you do through the assessment of yourself, if you have a recognition of there's somewhere where you want to be, somewhere where you want to shift to, if you have a dream that you are incubating and you want to bring it out into the world and live it, then I would love to help you. I have mentorship spaces available. I have mentorship spaces available for rapid transformation and shifting through this Phoenix approach. And you can come in for an intensive for 3 months minimum. All you need to do is just drop me a message. Let's have a chat. Let's see if this is going to work for you. I also have more lighter touch Phoenix approaches, and you can just come in and work with me for a month. Perhaps all you need is that boost, or perhaps you've just got one little shackle left that's holding you back. Let's release it. Let's break through. Let's lead you to where you want to be, and let's make that dream a reality. I have mentorship spaces available. They're application only. Please do drop me an email. I'll send you the application, and then we can have a conversation and see if we are a really good fit to help you bring that dream to life so that your life can get better and better and better. I also just wanted to remind you as well, human design, living and loving with your human design is always going to be available to you. If you want to know more about your human design and the energies that flow through your body, the energetic DNA that helps you live and love your life, then do get in contact with me as well, or head to my website. The link is in my bio. All of the different options are there. But by the end, for July, I have a wonderful offer, which is a buy one and gift one free. So for example, I've got people coming in to ask me for their own human design interpretation, but then they're gifting one to their child, to their daughters, so that they can understand not only themselves, but their daughter or their son or somebody in their family. I'm also doing it for couples and partners, taking one for themselves, gifting one to their partner. And I will share with you some of the strategies and the tools and the tips so that you can create this beautiful harmony between you and those people in your life that you live with those that you love and those that you work with, so that you can create this harmony and this magic so life can get better and better and better. It's a tool that I've been using for over a year now. I've qualified in it. I love it. I use it with my family. I use it with my clients so that we can help and understand how they live and love their life and just let it get better every single day. So that's what I wanted to share with you then. And also, one final note, it's now the time of the month where I start to share with you what's going to be coming up in the next Life Lab. So for those of you who are new to Life Labs are masterclasses, 90-minute masterclasses going on a deep dive in a certain tool or area of your life to help you. Oh, that's okay. Where was I? Yes. So the next Life Lab is on Friday, the 4th of August. It will drop, it will land, it will be in your inbox. It's a pre-recorded session, and this month is going to be all about mindfulness. I'm going right back to one of my roots. It's all about mindfulness. It's a conversation about mindfulness, how I've used it in my life, how I've used it over the summer, how I use it in business, how I use it in my personal life, how I used it to help heal myself from PTSD, how I used it to help me heal myself from a plethora of mental health issues, including eating disorders and insomnia and clinical depression. And it's how it has become a way of living and being so that my life is just keeps getting better and better. I sound like a broken record today. Life just keeps getting better and better when you use human design and being a phoenix and mindfulness. So that's what the next Life Lab is going to be. If you want to know more about mindfulness, how you can incorporate it in your life, in your business and in your family, then you can have access to that. I'm going to start dropping all of the branding this week now that I'm back at my desk and tell you a little bit more about it. If you'd like a little bit more detail, if you want the payment link already, they're £55 for these mindfulness sessions, these Life Lab sessions, or you can join the Love Club. The Love Club is where you get the monthly Life Labs for a period of 6 months, as well as some coaching sessions where you can come in and have deeper level conversations about integration, whatever's going on in your life or in the Life Lab. Right, I've got a lot of shouting going on outside my office today. I'm going to go see what that's all about, but I hope you've really loved this final session of the Happy Hour. I hope you've really enjoyed the Happy Hour series, but I'm so excited to come and share with you the shift, which is going to be live from next week, around about lunchtime. Lots of love.